Holy cow! Holy cow!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first official campaign stream because we finished our trial run last week. Thank you so much for joining us, and shout out to Lux Progressive for starting us with a raid. We really appreciate having y'all here. My name is Kat Abou-Ghazaleh. I'm running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois, and the reason I started streaming for the campaign is I think the way that we do money in politics sucks. Basically, our entire political system is built on this idea that you have to call rich people all day long. And yes, I did get a haircut. You have to call rich people all day long and beg for money. And as we have more and more oligarchs consolidating power, I don't think we should depend on them. Every candidate hates doing this. Most of the people that get called hate being called. But if you ask why we're doing it, the answer you'll always get is, well, it's what you have to do. And I don't think that's a great answer. And producer Asha's over there in the corner. Do you need to adjust something?
Yes, you need to adjust. Go to hovercast test overlay. And just maximize it to a little bit.
Gotcha.
And just double it.
Okay. Producer Kat.
Yeah, look at you go.
Did I do it?
Yes, looks great. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, so now you guys might have seen we have a little overlay now that will show your donations in real time, potentially, hopefully, we're still testing it, and which is really exciting. So we're working with Hovercast on this. They're trying this whole new thing in political streaming, so that's what we're doing. Also, thank you, producer Asha. But yeah, so I think the answer of that's what we've always done sucks, and our campaign slogan is what if we didn't suck? So we're trying to do a transparent, accessible way to fundraise, and that is through live streaming. We have raised over $65,000 live streaming this way, and unfortunately, politics requires money. Part of why I'm running is to get money out of politics, but we have to win. And we are a campaign supported by small dollar donations. We are the vast majority of our money, like 3/4 of it, comes from donations $200 or under. And the ones that are even over $200, a lot of times it's people donating multiple times, which rocks. So yeah, if you want to support us, if you want to show that this is a viable way to fundraise, that grassroots candidates don't need to know rich people just to be able to run for office, you can donate at catforillinois.com/stream. I really thought that I got the mirroring down there. And you can also send this link to your friends. Tell them to join. We're going to be doing this regularly. I have some fun campaign updates that producer Asha has very generously put in a little document for me. So a recap, our last petition party, where we have a notary there because that's what every party needs to sign off on our petitions, which helps get me on the ballot. That was our last one was yesterday, and we were able to get like 4 times the threshold we needed to safely get on the ballot. So thank you to anyone who was out there helping us get on the ballot. Wow, holy cow was really loud for me. Is it loud for y'all? Okay, amazing. We're turning that down. That holy cow sound is the sound of someone donating to the campaign. Thank you so much to whoever that is. And we're also trying a different way to shout out donors. So our last petitioning party was yesterday. We're really excited. We're going to Springfield to go file, to get on the ballot. So it's really exciting. People are going to be able to vote for us, which is just like unbelievable. It feels like we started this campaign both 3 days ago and also 5 years ago, and we have 5 months to go. So we still got to get through this. So thank you so much to everyone who helped us petition. We also launched our door knocking and how was that holy cow sound? We also launched our door knocking and phone banking program. If you live in Illinois, you can help us door knock. You can volunteer for us at discord.gg/catforillinois, or you can find our events at catforillinois.com/events. We have a new door knocking training coming up. Our last one, which was on a very dreary, rainy, shitty day, we had like 30 people show up and go out and knock doors for us, which was just, I'm so grateful. We had the best volunteers in the world. If you want to be one of those, discord.gg/catforillinois. And if you don't live in Illinois, you can phone bank for us from anywhere in the country. So volunteer at discord.gg/catforillinois. Some of the stuff we have upcoming. We are doing a little backyard bash behind our campaign office in the parking lot for Halloween. So on Halloween, we're going to be doing a blood drive. You can go to catforillinois.com/events to sign up. If you want to donate blood, you need to sign up for that on there. But if you want to sign up for the bone marrow registry, you can do that. Anyone can do it. You don't have to sign up beforehand. We're going to be grilling out Chicago dogs. We're going to be doing a costume contest. I still have not figured out my costume, which is really a point of anxiety for me. And we're going to have candy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So 7016 North Clark Street, the back lot. It's going to be a blast, and we hope to see y'all there. And then we're also having Door Knocking 101, our training again this Saturday at the office. So catforillinois.com/events to find that. Exciting things about stream. We got a very fun schedule. This Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. We'll be streaming. We're going to be having Meredith the Shiner on. Meredith, if you're watching this, I am so sorry that we've had to reschedule. It's been a nightmare for scheduling. Very excited to talk with you. And it's going to be in person, which is also fun. And then next week, it's not going to be in person. Psych. She cannot make it in person. So it's still going to be fun anyways. Next week, we'll be streaming on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Do we want to announce anything else for stream next week? Not yet. Thank you, producer Asha.
Holy cow.
Other than from our stream schedule, will be on Blue Sky every Monday, so you can know which guests to expect. It's going to be a blast, so make sure to check there. And then some fun other updates. So I'm not sure if y'all saw, but AIPAC is going after the campaign. Actually, let me just read this email because it's very fun. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, because I look like this, I am Palestinian, but also I just am a fan of human rights in general. And AIPAC does not like that. So they have been fundraising for one of my opponents. Here is the email. So you're happy about your plugin?
I'm very happy about it.
Shout out to producer Asha for killing it on the Hovercast stuff. So the pop-ups are working. We love to see it. So I am very radical because I think that we should recognize a Palestinian state and that Israel's presence in the West Bank is an illegal occupation. I basically blame Israel for the deaths of tens of thousands of Palestinians, and I promote the International Criminal Court. And so I'm not just loud, I'm well-funded, thanks to you guys. We are not well-funded by AIPAC, any Republican-funded PACs like AIPAC, corporate PACs, or billionaire money. We are well-funded by grassroots donors. Even with over 30,000 donors, our average donation is still just $32. And frankly, this email sounds like an ad for me. So if I think they're sold out right now, but we're definitely gonna be doing a restock. We came out with this fun sticker. If you want to find merch, by the way, catforillinois.com/store. Oh, we already restocked. You can pre-order our Fuck It, Let's Beat AIPAC sticker at catforillinois.com/store. We're partnered with Raygun, which is an awesome, which is a fantastic, oh my God. Hi, Harper. How you doing? Hold on. Harper, who is here?
Harper. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Harper. Asha and I say hi. But we partner with Raygun for our merch. Raygun is a Midwest-based company. They have an awesome store in Andersonville, and they support a lot of fantastic causes, so they help us with our merch. So go get merch at catforillinois.com/store. Pre-order your Fuck It, Let's Be AIPAC sticker there. What else do we have? Ice. Yeah, ice bad. it's getting worse. You know, all jokes aside, I do want to read something that some of us saw that was sent in like group chats that focus on ICE. It is a report of the conditions at the Broadview Processing Center, which is where you might have seen me protesting over the last few weeks. Someone also asked, how's Heater? She's right there. You can see her little tail. There she is. But more importantly, let's talk about what the conditions in this processing center are like. So it's a processing center. People aren't supposed to be held for more than 12 hours at a time. They're being held for days or weeks. Last we had heard, because people risk the safety of their family members, of themselves, by speaking out, people are being denied beds, hot meals, access to hygienic facilities for weeks at a time. This is a report from inside that facility. ICE detained a father who was legally here for in Chicago. His children, his minor children, contacted a lawyer who was trying to help him. When he has all of his valid documents. He's also a widower. His wife was a US citizen and she's passed away, so he's a single father. And all of his children are US citizens. He was pursuing citizenship lawfully. He has a work permit, he has everything. And he was still detained. He was brought to Broadview. He described people being carried out on stretchers, possibly worse, not being allowed to drink water, air that was suffocating, people gasping for breath, some going into cardiac arrest. He was threatened repeatedly to sign his own deportation, with an ICE officer serving as a translator to get him to sign a document while lying what the document was about. He did not have his glasses and could not read it, but was terrified that he would be the next to collapse, so he signed. That was in a single morning, and by afternoon he was already over the border, and his 4 children, who have already lost their mom, do not have their father anymore. We still don't know exactly what is going on in that facility, because ICE will not allow our elected officials to inspect it. That is why we've been protesting every week. That is why sometimes I feel like on Fridays when I'm like, hey, I just got hit in the face with a baton, or we got thrown down or whatever, it feels almost like this pattern that you get stuck in, that it's like almost like just shock value. And that's not what it's supposed to be. The reason we are out there is because what our neighbors are going through is so much worse, and it is so much worse than we already know. What we do know is from people who are scared for their lives. And that is why it is important to keep eyes on Broadview. If you can, tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m., that is when protests usually happen. 1930 Beach Street. We have to stand up for our neighbors, for their own dignity, and because it never stops with them. We're already seeing attacks on elected officials. We are seeing attacks on bystanders and witnesses. It's horrifying. And Illinois has led the way in fighting ICE, but we have to do it together. So 1930 Beach Street, I hope to see y'all there. Vi, who is frequently in our chat and has been a very generous donor, I actually got to meet her last week because she drove up from downstate and protested with us. And it was really incredible to meet you, Vi, if you're watching. Oh, hi, Vi, I just see you in the chat. And then also, finally, going back to good news, although it's kind of whiplash here, we had a poll. And so you might remember in June, we did a poll that showed me, I was a long shot candidate in March, and it showed me in second place. That was in June. So we did a second one with to see just how it had changed. And here's where we're at. So we had the most growth of any candidate, plus 3 points. The margin of error being 3.4%. 46% of this district is still undecided, and we are still firmly in second place, despite APAC funding, despite 15 years of name ID to catch up on, and that is only because of y'all. So if you want to support our campaign, if you want to give us the resources to be able to knock every door, to be able to reach as many people as possible without any billionaire, corporate PAC money, or Republican-funded PAC money, you can donate at catforillinois.com/stream. Asha, can you send me some donors in Discord so I can shout them out?
Yes.
Thank you. So as anyone who is new, when we get donors, we get to shout them out, which is very fun. So we have some to shout out today. John K, great to see you. Thank you so much for your $5 donation, because we love small dollar donors here. Sebastian R with 69, nice. And Daniel B with a $5 recurring donation. A recurring donation is a fantastic way to, you can see my wallpaper and icons. It's the normal wallpaper. It's the automatic wallpaper. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Daniel B with a recurring donation. A recurring way is, donation is a great way to support the campaign on your own budget. So thank you so much. Someone said, I was arrested with 9 others last Saturday at Beach Street. That shit was traumatizing. It is traumatizing. Like, that's the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize about all of this ICE stuff is, like, when we go out and protest, we're not scared. Like, last week, after we were beaten back after being told to go into the street, I, like, checked my hands and they're shaking. And once again, everything that we've been going through does not hold a candle to what the people in that facility are going through. Like, we're not going there because it's fun. And the people that are trapped in there were not brought there because it's fun or because they did anything wrong. These are our neighbors. These are families. Many of them are US citizens. So thank you for being out there. I'm sorry about the trauma. I set up a therapy appointment for the first time in a while, which is exciting. And yeah, so I think that's one of the things that's really weird about fascism is the whiplash you get. I spent most of today folding laundry, knowing that like tomorrow we're going to be standing against secret police, and it's easy to forget that not every single moment is adrenaline or cortisol. Most of what happens during a fascist takeover is just your day-to-day. It is moments of joy. It is doing your chores. It is going to the grocery store. And then you have masked men coming into your neighborhoods to terrorize you. If you don't have a whistle yet, you should get one. We have a bunch for free at our office at 7016 North Clark Street. If you're coming to our Halloween party, we'll have them there too. And so if you see ICE, these are a really helpful way to warn the community. If you see them in your neighborhood, blow 3 short bursts. If they're actively detaining someone, you can do 3 long ones. And that allows people in the community to come back together to, you know, stop a detention or be able to bear witness. So when is our office open? We don't have any specific hours, but on weekdays, usually 11 to 5, there will be people there. And we have like, you were sharing your whole computer, not just the browser tab. I know we have Web React. I have a specific monitor for it. It's fine. If you guys see my normal, my automatic wallpaper, I'm fine with that. What is it right now? Oh, some dewdrops. What's everyone dressing up as for Halloween? I want to know. Asha, have you figured out your costume?
I have. I'm going to be Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it. Yeah. Asha's going to be Raven from Teen Titans. That's sick.
And then I am also going to be, if anybody read the Rainbow Magic Fairy books,
Mm-hmm.
that might know what I'm talking about. Did you read them? They're a little after your time.
No. Oh my God. We're like 4 years apart.
I don't think checking it out.
Asha was like, did you read the Rainbow Magic Fairy books? They were a little bit after your time. Fuck you.
I'm going to be Evie the Mist Fairy.
She's going to be Evie the Mist Fairy.
And my friend, Haley the Rain.
And her friend is going to be Haley the Rain Fairy. I was thinking about being Melanoi, but I just don't have time to make the cosplay. Sailor Moon would also be fun, but like I don't want to have like a shitty costume that I just get from like Spirit Halloween, you know?
Yeah. I really wanted to be Hawk Girl from Superman, but I like couldn't find a way to like make it myself.
Yeah. Like I have a sewing machine, but like when am I gonna get the time? I do have my astronaut outfit from Space Camp. That's always a good fallback if I need it, but I'd like to do something fun. Yeah, Melanoi would be great, especially with my new hair, because it's like same haircut. So let's go. Everyone's been telling me to play Silksong. I've never played the first Hollow Knight, so I downloaded that and we're gonna play that today. Ooh, Samus would be a good one. So my brother and I would play Smash, and his character was Samus, and as anyone that has like an older sibling knows, you can't do the things that your older sibling does. And so I was never allowed to play Samus. And then as soon as like I could finally play Smash without him, because I was like in college, she is now my go-to character. And it's very empowering. But yeah, sign up for our blood drive at caprillinois.com/events. Donating blood is important. Our field director has something called Baby Saver Blood. Are the pop-ups accurate, by the way? Yay! This is so exciting. I love that we have these little pop-ups.
Yes. The goal is not, but hopefully by next year.
Awesome. All right, so I've never played Hollow Knight. We'll find out if it's fun, and then if I still like it and I get through it, I'll play Silksong.
Also highlight comments now.
Oh my god, Asha can highlight comments. This is so exciting.
Favorite comment that I've seen. This is how we
Amazing. All right, send me some donors so I can shout people out. I'm seeing a lot of the same names. Is that just people that are enthusiastic?
It like cycles through. I can't get it.
Gotcha. Okay, so if you're wondering why they're the same names, it's because it cycles through, which is dope. But all right, hold on. A world gave to Bug and Beast as they had never dreamed. When can a debate happen? I am hoping that there's going to be a debate, I'm guessing, probably like in December. So we'll find out. What about Stray? I miss Computer Heater. Yeah, I will finish Stray at some point, I swear. But I wanted to make sure we have like a mix, and everyone's been saying, play Silksong. And I'm like, I haven't played Hollow Knight, so. Donate at catforillinois.com/stream. If you want me to play Silksong, I got to get through this, and we got to keep doing streams to do that, so. Also, can y'all see Heater's little feet up there? She's so cute on her little cat tree. Catforillinois.com/stream. Oh, look at this guy. Is that me? Huh? Ooh, donation target for Silksong. What do you think, Asha? You're the producer here. Yeah, 3.5K, and we can guarantee a Silksong stream.
Ooh, is this Hollow Knight Silksong?
No, that's the sequel. This is just Hollow Knight.
We can also. Okay.
Okay.
Or not
JPixels, so glad I'm finally able to catch a stream. I'm excited to be able to vote for you. Thank you so much. If you're a volunteer who I've met before, hi. And if you're not, then I hope I get to meet you. Okay, jump.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
I like the animation. Or no. Okay. Okay, the easiest parts of Silksong are the hardest parts in Hollow Knight. Good to know. Okay. Collect soul. Okay, I see. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, was I supposed to stay up there? Chat, drop your questions in. We love to talk about the campaign and do campaign stuff. No. We'd love to do campaign stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this new game.
I figured out how to stop it.
Yay! When is election day? March 17th. How do I do? First female president who games. That's insane. People who want to be. I used to want to be the first female Republican president because stupid and grew up in Texas. And then I was like, oh, you kind of have to be a sociopath to become president usually. And I don't want to do that. And then I want to be an astronaut. I should have definitely played this for like an hour just to get used to the controls, but y'all can make fun of me, so it's fine. What time are you going to Broadview? I should be going at, be there at like 7. There is a possibility that I have to deal with something in the morning, but I am hoping to be able to to be there. 1930 Beach Street, come protest ICE. Do you have the new stickers yet? We do not have the stream stickers, but please know that they are coming. For those who don't know, we are we're planning on having fun stream specific merch stickers that anyone who donates can get. Cool, what's that? That anyone who donates can get, so we cannot wait to show those off. We don't have them yet, so if you donate today, you're doing it for the love of the game and to get us to play Silksong. If we raise 3.5k, we'll guaranteed Silksong game. When I would be, or stream, when I would be knitting, I will be playing this so that way I can play Silksong faster. That is my promise if we reach 3.5k today. CapriIllinois.com/stream. Do you want a gamer congresswoman or not? That's what I'll ask you. The pop-ups look really nice. Good job, Asha. Someone said that in chat. What are some other things you suggest donating to other than your campaign? ICER, the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. They are doing absolutely necessary work right now. And just signing up for their like text list to make sure that you know when ICE is in the community is really important. Am I gonna die? Oh no. This little guy's so cute.
Holy cow.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing this till like 8, and then I might do some, oh, I don't need to hurt him, okay. Might do some Stardew mining, I don't know. Producer Asha rules, this is true. How is the volume, by the way? Do you even see YouTube donations? Yes, we do.
YouTube donations?
Like donations that come through people that are watching on YouTube? Because if you're doing it through ActBlue, we see it all. And that's what happens when you donate on stream. So the reason that like you can't just donate through chat is because we have to, we have like specific FEC regulations that we have to make sure we ask for specific info, like your employer and occupation. We don't just do that because we're nosy, although I am.
Holy cow.
Okay, trying to heal, yay. And so that's why you donate through there. So if you donate at CapriIllinois.com/stream, we see them all. Can we get some in the Discord chat?
Get what?
Donors to shout out?
Oh, yes.
Game volume's a little bit quiet. I got you. Okay, how's it now? Also, am I going to the right place? Doesn't matter. Oh, awesome. All right, some donors to shout out. We have got Dominic C with $4.20. Nice. Josiah L with $69. Nice. Orlando E with $150. Thank you so much. $150 goes a long way on our campaign. By the way, if you want to know what we spend our money on, we pay our staff a living wage, which I'm not sure any of my opponents do, including their interns. It's something very rare in politics, which people who have worked in politics understand. We use our resources to help the community, whether it's like our Halloween blood drive, our food drives. We're hoping to do stuff as SNAP benefits get cut to make sure that we're feeding the community, our campaign office doubling as a mutual aid hub. All of these things are things that our money goes into, in addition to voter contacts, in addition to any advertising that we are trying to do to make sure that we are connecting with voters as much as possible. So that's where your money's going, not a bunch of consultants who haven't won an election in a decade, not enriching our friends, not, fancy events. All of our events are accessible no matter your level of income. So,
Holy cow.
Nicholas M, thank you so much for your donation. John D, thank you. David M with 69, nice. Lisbon M, we love to see you. John K, we love to see you again. Donald A, thank you so much. And Benjamin B, is it Benjamin Button? Is it Benjamin Button?
It could be.
It could be.
I don't know.
Someone asked, did I grow up in Chicago or the suburbs? No, I actually grew up in Texas and have kind of lived all around the US. But Chicago's always been like a huge part of my life. Oh, I'm still full screen, yeah. For those who don't know, Chicago has the
Holy
highest, the largest Palestinian population outside of the Middle East. So this is actually where my grandfather and my father immigrated to. My grandfather went to George Williams College when it was still in Hyde Park, and then went back to the Middle East, and then brought my dad over here and his family when, oh no, when my dad was like 10. And then, yeah. Balancing audio. We love tech support. Holy cow is really loud. I can turn that down too. Yeah, someone in the chat said holy cow is loud. And I listen to chat, unlike some people. But it's always been like a huge part of my life. I always figured that I would end up settling in Chicago. Like it's where my parents got engaged. It's where my dad spent like about half the year when he was still working. And like a lot of other people that are from red states, like I can't go back to my family if my partner and I want to start a family. This is, our district is like 27% of it was born in another country, and even more are first generation Americans. Hard to hear me now. Okay. Sorry, y'all.
Wait, that was from a while ago.
That was from a while ago? Okay, awesome.
Also, that's Mia. I'm sure.
Oh, I didn't know. Hi, Mia. I love you. And so, yeah, I think like what's really cool about Chicago is just like how it can become a home for anyone, whether you're an immigrant, whether you're a transplant, whether you're a refugee in our own country. It can be for queer rights, reproductive rights, climate change, and that's just going to get worse as the climate crisis gets worse. So yeah, that's my little Chicago backstory. No.
Holy cow.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. What is the goal of this game? I guess is what I want to know. Oh no. Are your parents influenced at all by your liberal conversion? Yeah, so for those who don't know, I grew up in a Reagan Republican household. My grandmother was like a GOP operative, straight up. My parents, we were raised like very Reagan Republican, and my mom has always been like more progressive, although like definitely didn't use the word back then. It wasn't like a Christian nationalist household, which I'm very grateful for. Like as a little girl, I never felt like there was anything I couldn't do because I was a girl. But it's the reason that I became woke, so to say, is because do I need to be doing anything to listen? No? Okay. Is because when we moved to Tucson halfway through high school, I had a lot of friends who were like much smarter and more talented than I was. And they couldn't afford college, even with a full ride. And like one of my very close friends wanted to be a doctor. She would have been an amazing doctor. She's still not, because she had to help take care of her family. And I was like, wait, Ronald Reagan isn't right about everything? And it was at that time that Donald Trump announced his run for president. And my parents and I did not fuck with him. Okay, so now I can heal. Okay, cool. And so, yeah, we were like, maybe Marco Rubio is the answer, which LOL. And so I was like, started to think of, you know, what do my values actually align with? I'm not sure my parents would have used the word feminist, but they definitely raised me in like a feminist household. And my parents started thinking the same thing. So like they both voted for Hillary. I was 17, so I couldn't vote, but I did like voter registration drives. So they've both been Democrats since 2016, and they're both very proud of me and my campaign. And that's nice. Yeah. There have definitely been things like, especially covering right-wing media for my work, where like, here's the thing. It's not fun to admit you're wrong. And it's especially not fun if you're an older person and you have to be like, oh, not only was I wrong, but for most of my life, I really believed like some shitty things, like whether it's misinformation or blatant bigotry. That's not fun to admit. And so I really respect older folks who have made that transition, and there are still holdovers. Like I think for a lot of people who have had parents go through similar evolutions, like the last holdover you really have is like Ronald Reagan is still right about a lot of things, and then they get to that point and it's like, oh, like maybe he wasn't. It was a lot easier for me to come to that conclusion because he was like a relic, and he was more of like a legend, you know, not something real that you lived through and almost worshipped in the way that the right does. Is this like a boss? Oh no. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I guess the thing I'm trying to say is I'm sure a lot of people here have parents that have or have not changed their political points of view. And my whole policy is you should never, ever have to justify your own existence. But if someone does want to engage in good faith, and it's just a matter of being stuck in this misinformation bubble that billionaires have created, like the one I used to cover for work, I feel like I'm missing something on how to play this game, or am I doing it right? Then it's a lot harder to admit, but we can engage in good faith when people want to engage in good faith. And like, I know this is crazy, but like no one is perfect. There's shit that all of us are ignorant about to this day, even if you consider yourself like the most woke person out there. That's just what being human is. And so as people get hurt, use the pogo. I'll probably just play this a lot, like on the drive to Broadview, honestly. That's what I do, as I just dread being harmed by federal agents, is I play video games for an hour. It's not, I don't have a car. I'm the passenger. Playing video games while driving is crazy. Thank you, Asha. And so I'll probably I'll be better at this next time you watch. Someone said we need psychological professionals to explain how we get these cult members out of the darkness. The real thing is you need one puncture. So like for me, it was my friends who couldn't afford to go to college. Well, like I could, even though like I wasn't going to be a doctor. And like I cannot stress enough, like it was heartbreaking to realize that my friend, who would have been the most incredible doctor, could not do that just because like the way she was, like the family she was born in. And it was like, oh wait, you mean it isn't just about poor people saving more? Which I know sounds so ignorant, but that is how I thought. And I mean, that's how it's communicated among conservative communities, of like poverty is someone else's fault. And there is nothing that is situational about it, which is obviously not true. But it's also given me this ability to understand how to message to conservatives that are genuinely like just in a bubble of misinformation that I think a lot of our leaders and a lot of our like media critics, which I was, aren't able to do. Are personal connections as opposed to media messaging the best way to reach people? 100% absolutely. And here's the thing, like on the personal connection thing, I say this with so much love and understanding. I 100% get the urge to be like, your guy did this to us. Like, this sucks, and it's because of your guy, the guy you voted for. You will have a lot more luck just saying, this sucks, doesn't it? There are a lot of votes on the table. There are a lot of... Oh, no. No. Go away, go away, go away. Run, 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 run. There are a lot of votes on the table. There are a lot of people that... Someone asked, where are the Epstein files? That's another thing that's been a puncture for a lot of people. And it's a matter of those personal connections are a lot more convincing than any media messaging could be. That's why I try really hard when I am messaging to include these personal connections and to also communicate in a way I want to be communicated to, and not try to manipulate, which is oftentimes the thought process for a lot of communication. And holy cows, let's keep them coming. Yeah, donate at capforillinois.com/stream if you want a congresswoman who actually understands right-wing media. This stream was specifically targeted at me. Thank you. Of course. Crumble? I'm missing something here, but that's fine. So I just think it's really important, like it's the whole thing of getting right-wing voters. It's not about parading Liz Cheney. It's not about throwing trans people under the bus. It's not about you know, trying to pretend like bigotry is good. Like, you don't reach young men with sexism. Young men want what everyone else wants, and that's like a safe, happy life for them and their loved ones. So if we come at it from that point of view and don't compromise on our beliefs, I can't tell you the number of Republicans that are out in the redder parts of the district that have said, I don't know if I agree with everything you believe in, but I'm curious because I think you actually believe it. And I don't feel like that from a lot of our leaders, including the ones that I thought I supported. Oh, sorry, I got distracted looking at chat. Multitasking queen over here. Asha, am I missing anything in the chat?
No.
Okay. Do we have donors? I love public transit. I don't own a car. That's why I play video games all the way to Broadview. Also, some quick shout outs. Ann M with a $5 recurring donation. Thank you so much. A recurring donation is a great way to make sure that we can plan for the future and to support the campaign on your budget. Christopher D with a $10 recurring donation. Same thing. Thank you so much. And then Michael K with a $150 donation. Thank you so much. That goes so far on a campaign like this. So thank you. Donald A and Jeremiah W, thank you for your donations as well. We really appreciate your support. And if you guys want a shout out and to support a grassroots campaign that's funded and for the people, not billionaires, you can do so at catforillinois.com/stream. Thank you. Where do you live? I live in Rogers Park. And public transit, yeah, so I don't own a car. I actually have narcolepsy, which is a sleep disorder. And sorry, I was just reading a long comment. I have a sleep disorder, and I actually found out because I totaled my car when I was 17 driving to school. I fell asleep at the wheel and drifted into an intersection. Someone hit me going 30 over on the driver's side, and luckily I was asleep, so my body was relaxed, so I didn't have any injuries. But it was really scary, and it also is a lot of disabled people can't drive. A lot of people don't want to drive because, like, even if I'm medicated so I can drive, but like I don't really want to. It's an extra cost. Nobody was hurt, Mark, but thank God. But it's an extra cost a lot of people can't afford, and also driving sucks. Let's be real here, guys. Driving sucks. You constantly are. I want to do a rant about driving, and I don't want this sad music in here, so one sec. I'm gonna mute this. In public transit, this is one of the things that I want to communicate to like my family in the South. When you're on a train, you can do whatever you want. You can read a book, you can play video games, you can scroll TikTok. It's also a huge reason, cars are a huge reason that we feel so isolated from each other. I think that being in the community, commuting with your community is really important to build that sense of society. I ride the bus, I ride the train. Public transit is a more affordable, a safer, and a more enjoyable way to get around. And that's why public transit is really important. We've been working on this video about transit that I need to record an addendum to, because every single time we tried to release it, like that day, a new horror is waged on Chicago public transit. So we recorded this whole thing, and it's a really exciting, really fun video going all around these different stations. And then the day we were going to release it, Trump announced like billions in frozen funds for Chicago public transit. And so I was like, okay, so we need to record this addendum. And then the day we were going to release that, we found out that Chicago might have to raise fares to be able to fund public transit. And I'm like worried about recording this because I feel like every single time we're about to, something else, like something bad is going to happen. But Illinois is currently facing a huge issue with our transit funding. So it just didn't get past the House when they were passing funding. And so we just don't really know the future of how the state is going to fund transit. And federally, what we need to do is not just build more infrastructure. I would love to see cross-country rail, but also we need to be funding operations costs. This is the budget that is usually made up for with fares and then state funding, and very little, if any of it, comes from federal funding. So that is a priority in Congress. If you want a congresswoman who actually rides public transit, who doesn't own a car, and who actively wants to make a life where no one needs to have a car, donate at catforillinois.com/stream. Yeah, public transit or long distance trains is a human way to travel. You can meet people. Very great point. I can't read that because I don't have my glasses on, but whatever your name is, very great point. I grew up in a place that didn't really have that much public transit, and it's once you use it, you're like, oh shit, like this can be my life. And it's always so funny how Republicans seem so terrified of public transit. Like our own Secretary of Transportation is afraid of the subway, and like children ride the subway. You're a full grown ass man. I remember I was on this CNN panel where this dude who was like twice my size, it was on the Fight show, on Abby Phillips' show, who she is great, truly a saint. But sitting there and listening to the man across from me being like, I don't feel safe in Union Station. You know, I went to college in DC, and it's like, I have never felt unsafe in Union Station. If you feel more safe now that there are men with like semi-automatic guns around you, maybe you need to reevaluate like your safety threshold, because you probably shouldn't go outside if you're that scared of a train station. Like, I am 5 feet tall. I lie and say I'm 5'1", 110 pounds. And somehow, like, I am less scared of public transit than giant men that allegedly know everything about guns and fighting. Sorry, I could rant about this literally for years. Yeah, Asha said someone in chat was like, they're not afraid of public transit, they're afraid of others. And that's 100% what it is. I mean, a lot of places across the country won't fund public transit because they don't want others in their community. This is a huge issue in DC, actually. Like, Georgetown doesn't have a metro stop because there are a lot of people there that like don't want, you know, homeless people being able to come into Georgetown. And that's, it's insane. And instead you're making everything more accessible. If people don't necessarily need a car to be able to get to work, then they can save that money and use that money for other stuff like living, instead of just paying money to oil barons and car manufacturers.
Holy cow.
I don't know. What the fuck are we doing here, guys? Shout out to Neil P, Patrick S, and Benjamin B for your donations. Thank you so much. If you want to donate to a candidate, once again, who actually uses public transport, and I am a ride or die for public transport, for transit, CaffreyIllinois.com/stream. Live Asha, editing, producing. Public transit should be free for everyone. I completely agree. Public transit should be free. So like, here's the thing, is so many car companies have created what ride or die, that is a good pun, have essentially created our infrastructure. Have you ever seen those like photos that edit out all of the cars and you just see all of the space that we would have for other things? Like, I think during COVID, this was a big thing of seeing like, you know, dine-in seating outside, where you would instead have parking. Bike lanes should actually be close to the curb. So really, like, the safest way to do this is you have bikes, and then you have buses, and then you have cars with the curb next to bikes. But there's lobbying against that, because then that means people might have to walk like an extra few feet to go from their car. What the fuck are we doing? Like, cyclists die because of that. As someone said, we need to make roads safer for bicyclists and pedestrians. My partner, we were going to my home state of Texas. Well, not really home, but you know. And he has pretty much just lived in places that are like fine for pedestrians. And I had to stress, like, you cannot cross, like even try to jaywalk across 8 lanes of traffic. If you get hit, that is your fault. So Kadaba Ghazali, welcome to the war on cars. You think I haven't been in the fuck cars subreddit for years?
Oh, fuck cars.
Fuck cars.
Not like fuck cars.
No, Asha, not like that.
That's literally what I thought you were talking about. I was like, what?
And as I saw someone in the chat earlier saying, if you're more scared of public transit than you are of cars, you're uninformed, which is so true. You are so much more likely to get hurt in a car. Like, essentially, we're like, oh, instead of having everyone in this big thing that works really well, is consistent, and costs less, everyone has to pay a bunch of money for their own giant weapon that you can ram into each other, and you just have to hope that everyone is able to function it, like do it well. That is why we have so many people die in car accidents. And I'm just going on a rant at this point. This isn't even a campaign stream. This is just me ranting about public transit. I mean, public transit is a campaign issue, but at this point it's more of a personal vendetta. Also, giant cars. I think if you can't see someone over like the hood of your car, that car should not exist. Like, you do not, every single dude that has like a gigantic truck has never towed anything in his life. He's like an accountant that is getting this car to overcompensate. We don't need to make cars bigger. We need to make trains faster. Huh? Sorry. Nothing. You're making Asha giggle, y'all.
I am.
And fuck Cybertrucks too. Great point, Asha.
That's what I'm giggling about.
You're giggling at your own thing?
I won't put it on the stream on camera.
And fuck Cybertrucks too. Amen. We love to see it. Make trains great again. Campaign merch. Trains have always been great. That's the bummer. Is they're trying to pretend trains aren't good. And they've always been good. Cybertrucks are so badly built. Yeah, let's just make this into a Cybertruck hate stream. I love it. They're so ugly. It looks like what a child would imagine a car from the future looks like before they have any concept of like how to draw a turkey for Thanksgiving. And then they like would look at it, and even at like 8 years old, when they're looking back at their childhood drawings, they'd be like, oh, that looks like shit. Yeah. Sorry, we can talk about something else if y'all want. The finish is so ugly. It's so ugly. That's why so many people put ugly ass wraps on them, because Cybertrucks are so ugly. Guys, I swear to God, we can talk about something besides Cybertrucks and public transit, but also we can talk about this. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Good choice starting with Hollow Knight. Silksong is much harder. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break on Hollow Knight and maybe just like do some chill Stardew mining while we rant about other things. Because I need to practice Hollow Knight so I don't embarrass myself again. Drop your questions in the chat. Let's hang. Can you change the Twitch thing to Stardew?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I really hate Cybertrucks, so this rocks. Fuck yeah, man. If you want a representative that will say Cybertrucks look ugly, donate capforillinois.com/stream. capforillinois.com/stream. They're ugly, and Elon Musk is a hack. And made me lose my job. Because he's a hack. Any camp.
That's campaign event. Sorry. Train campaign. But still campaign events. Okay, sorry.
Can you repeat that?
No.
Okay. There we go. Okay. If I make it full screen, I gotta do gameplay, and then we don't get our lovely pop-ups, right, Asha?
Full screen gameplay.
Can I do it? Because it looks ugly like this. No, I won't.
No, it's okay.
No, it's fine.
I can also fix it like if you want.
No, it's fine.
Sure?
Yeah. Someone asked, how did I lose my job because of Elon Musk? Great question. So I worked at Media Matters. Go away. Which is... No, it blacks out.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
All good. So I worked at Media Matters, which is a media watchdog, and we did a lot of work in terms of like, you know, anti-Nazi stuff, which personally I think it's great to be anti-Nazi. I didn't know it was a controversial position now, but it is. And one of my colleagues reported on overtly pro-Holocaust content being next to ads for big companies, and companies were like, hey, I don't think I want that. And so Elon Musk sued the nonprofit I worked at, and he's the richest man in the world, and so the costs kept mounting and they had to let go of 12 people. I knew that I had a platform that was like, also has volume, by the way. Yeah. I knew I had a platform that would allow me to get a job easier. So when they said they had to lay off 12 people, you know, I'm fine being one of those. But, you know, I've been freelancing for the last year until I started running for office. And then he actually deposed me like right around this time last year, which is still nuts. Such a dumb 8 hours of my life. He did it in Chicago. He is such a loser. Is it a meme that you're not playing the game that the title says? Asha already fixed it.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, he said legalize comedy, but he gets triggered at like a 25-year-old with $10,000 or less in her bank account being mean to him online. Any plan for a food drive for November when stamps won't be funded because of the government? Yes, absolutely. We're working on that. We are hoping to have one on November 1st and continue them throughout the government shutdown. So we will have more information probably on Tuesday. Imagine being the richest man in the world and still being uncool. You can literally buy cool. I know, it's crazy. If I were that rich, I would not be doing whatever the fuck he's doing, like weird eugenics programs. What's in the trailer? Okay, so this is a little hack for Stardew fans. If you want to go before you have like warp totems, if you want to go to the desert a little faster to mine, you can stand at Pam's trailer and just keep walking into the trailer, and then she'll go like a little bit faster. I honestly didn't notice I was doing it. It was more of a like a automatic thing. Can you put some donors in the Discord? Thank you. Donate at capforillinois.com/stream. If we get 3,500, we'll be doing Silk Song stream. Huh? It's like not that much faster. It's just a little bit faster, but why are the Republicans cutting SNAP? Great question, because they want to spend that money. They want to spend money that could be spent on your food or healthcare or your kids' education on torturing families.
Holy
Republicans
cow.
love torturing families. They want to do that more. And they also don't want to release the Epstein files. And they're also weird assholes that seem to think that secret police are cool. So that's why. Shout out to Donald A and Zachary P. Let's get some more holy cows in here. capforillinois.com/stream. And if you can't donate, I'm going to ask a favor. Just copy and paste this link and send it to a friend. I really need a prismatic sharp to get that cool sword. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, Elon is proof that money can't buy Riz. Like, it can even buy you shitty hair plugs, but it can't buy you Riz. Those hair plugs are not great. I didn't know this game had combat. Yeah, so you have a mine shaft that's 120 levels. I have 100% in Stardew, by the way. But this is the, there's like an endless mine shaft in the desert, which is really fun and has way better combat. Who are you dying to have a meeting with? Ken Jennings from Jeopardy. That's not even a joke. There is nothing I want more than to be on Celebrity Jeopardy and raise $1 million for charity, because I will absolutely smoke anyone else on there. I know you probably meant like other representatives, but the answer is Ken Jennings. If anyone has a Ken Jennings connect, please tell him to email Asha, because I would love to have him on stream. Truly nothing would make me happier, or just having him recognize me. He's so cool. I love Ken because he's just like a little bit petty. Like, you can tell like on some questions, the way he delivers them, like when someone gets the answer wrong, is so funny. Ah, he's great. We have no donors to shout out, Asha?
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, you know what we can do to change that? I thought y'all liked the pop-ups. I guess not. Asha is crying because no one's donating because they didn't like the pop-ups. Y'all know what it's like to make Asha cry? Well, I mean, you do now. Have I made you cry?
Holy cow.
No, I was saying they do. They know because they made you cry because you're crying. Oh my god, guys, fuck off. For 1 second, just chill.
Holy cow.
Someone apologize for being late. It's not okay. I'm mad. I'm really mad. But I'll forgive you this time. I'm just gonna restart. I'm only on the 3rd level. This is
Holy
stupid.
cow.
I was too busy donating to be- No, god dang it. Why did I-
Holy cow.
Guys, why am I bad at this? I was too busy donating to see pop-ups. Hell yes, we love to hear it. Thank you so much for your donation. So let's talk a little bit about, I do know the method. I am early on. I don't have enough iron to make unlimited bombs. I mean, you can once you get enough coal and iron. Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to do, is get enough so that way I can upgrade all my tools. Let me live. Anyways, let's talk about a little bit about what makes our campaign different, because there are a lot of shitty things in politics and we try to not do those things. So for one, the whole reason of these live streams is not doing call time, which is this ubiquitous practice in politics. It's how most campaigns get a lot of, if not the majority of their money. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It is time where you just call rich people all day long. I have talked to some candidates who are like progressive candidates who are very kind people. It is so... It is thought as just like a necessity for anyone running for office that these people will literally spend like 6 hours a day just calling people and asking for money. And no one enjoys doing this. Most candidates hate it. I have met one candidate who doesn't hate it, and I fully think that person is mentally unwell, or more like spiritually unwell. But the people getting called don't like it because you're being asked for money, and like you go through this whole song and dance. And it also sets up this standard that you have to know rich people to be able to run for office. Like, it doesn't matter what office you run for. While you're setting up campaign infrastructure, the first question you will be asked is how many people can you call on day one to ask for money? And so that just sets up this idea that you can only run for office if you either are already rich or have access to people that are rich. And I don't think it's great to have kind of a patronage system here. Even when people have the best of intentions, they're often forced to be a part of this system. And so part of what we're doing with these streams is showing that you don't have to know a bunch of rich people just to be able to represent others. And so when y'all donate, you are helping us prove that too. We just had 2 holy cows in a row, 2 donations. Thank you so much. And if you guys want to help us prove that, you can do so at catforillinois.com/stream. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I can't describe the envy I have already seen in candidates' eyes when they are talking to me at like forums of like, yeah, no, I'm not doing any call time. Because it is just the scourge of politics. And I don't know, what if we didn't suck? I think someone said that. Yeah, who loves cold calling? Everyone loves cold calling. So much fun. Leave me alone. Can you read it? Or put it on the screen?
I can go. As an occasional donor, I consider this.
Holy cow.
Yay! B. Reese said, as an occasional donor, I feel like the texting pace has been very reasonable and I never feel harangued. That means so much because we really try to do that. So like all of our texts and emails, I personally approve. Some of them I write myself. But a big part of this campaign is we don't want to send out spammy texts. When you donate to our campaign, we give you an option to either like unsubscribe from all notifications or subscribe to fewer texts and emails. And then we like also try to make them not the same thing of the world's on fire, you have to donate. Sometimes we don't even include a donate button. We had one that was just a picture of Heater, my cat, and then like a keyboard smash. It was her on a laptop, and then it just said donate underneath. We had a bunch of, yeah, as Blue said, Heater writes most of them. We had a bunch of people donate from that, but we try to be creative with it, and we try to be honest. So like, if you donated, you probably got some texts at the end of quarter deadline, which I've talked about a lot of like kind of the bullshit, but also very real politics behind why you get so many texts at the end of the month. And, but we were very honest. We were like, this is why we're doing it. And you can, if you want to either unsubscribe, you can do that. But you can also, if you donate here, you will not get another text from us for 3 months. And we had a lot of people that followed through on that, and then some that donated anyways and asked to not be taken off the list. I think we're the first campaign where people have been like, I wish you sent more texts and emails. Why the name Heater? I'm curious. So my cat Heater was found on a heating grate in the middle of winter. She is a survivor and very perfect. And so she was named that because she was found on a heating grate in the middle of winter. She was with a bunch of orange cats, and she had feline leukemia when they neutered her because she was a TNR. And she was so sweet and so smart that they just kept her. Usually cats with feline leukemia have like historically just been have been put down, but she was not. And she was put into a feline leukemia room, which is really cool. A lot of shelters do not have that, but some of them are adopting it. So Paws and Claws, which is a cat shelter in the district, they actually had a feline leukemia room that is now empty because all the cats got adopted, which is so exciting. And now she's Heater because she's a little space heater. She sits on my legs and she keeps me warm, and she's a good little kitty. I would be so happy to receive Heater keyboard merch. Look, when I was talking about those stickers for the stream, one of them may be Heater merch. That's all I'll say. If you want to see these stickers, guys, capillinois.com/stream. I thought you named her after a cigarette. Oh, we got some donors to shout out? Awesome. Oh, people don't want Asha to cry, so thank you to everyone who donated to keep Asha from crying. If you want to keep Asha from not crying, you gotta donate at capillinois.com/stream. Shout out to Joshua W, Jeff or Geff C, cool spelling, James B, Donald A, Christopher R, John B, Tyler M, Evan B, Alex D, and then Trey R, Sharon K, and Matt B with our average donation of $32, which even with over 30,000 donors, our average donation is still $32, which is cool as hell. Thank you so much, everyone. If you want to be one of those people shouted out and want to support a campaign that is doing things differently, donate at catforillinois.com/stream. Get a gamer in Congress. Sounds like Jeff. Awesome. Can Heater even be around other cats while having leukemia? So that's the thing. It's actually not leukemia. It's called feline leukemia. It's kind of a misnomer. It's a virus, and it makes you much more likely to get leukemia and kind of screws up your immune system. But it's also contagious because it's a virus. And so she can only be around other cats with feline leukemia. Cats with feline leukemia usually have much shorter lifespans. We actually got her tested. We got a PCR test to determine what type of feline leukemia she has. There's like one that's abortive, which essentially means like the body's fought it off. And then one that's like a middle ground. And then the most aggressive is called progressive. And she does have progressive feline leukemia. I was inconsolable when I found out like a couple weeks ago, but she is a trooper. She is so incredible. I love Heater so much. And like, we knew she was sick when we got her, you know, and all we care about is giving her a good life. I was picturing a little cat lounge where cats were literally getting chemotherapy. No, but I mean, pets can get chemotherapy. When you play along while watching Jeopardy, how well do you do? Pretty well. Masters obviously is harder. By the way, if you live in Chicago, the Dropped Stitch, which is a yarn store in Andersonville, is run by Hannah, who is a literal Jeopardy master. One time I went to go pick up yarn, and then I was watching Jeopardy with Ben, and I was like, oh my God, it was literally the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I was like, I just saw her today. She's super cool. I annoy her with Jeopardy questions every time. So I do pretty well on like regular Jeopardy. I cook on Celebrity Jeopardy. Celebrity Jeopardy is for babies. And I say that with love to everyone who's ever been on Celebrity Jeopardy. And that's why I want to be on Celebrity Jeopardy, because I can raise $1 million for charity. And that would be cool. And if you agree raising $1 million for charity is cool, help us. Help us raise dollars at CapForIllinois.com/stream. Horrible transition. But on the bright side, when you do donate to our campaign, we are not just throwing it into like the politics void. We are using it on genuinely improving the community while we reach out to voters. So, what was the store in Andersonville you mentioned? It's called The Dropped Stitch, and it's a great yarn store. I want to do a video soon about how tariffs are impacting small businesses, because I've talked to Hannah a lot about this, and like it's just a nightmare. Even yarn that's made in the US, like a lot of the materials don't come from there. And so a lot of small businesses, and especially in the crafting world, have been really suffering, which is just a huge bummer. And it feels like there's a way we could have avoided this, like not having stupid tariffs. But maybe I'm just too radical. I donated the same amount I paid for my train and bus rides today. That's sick. I love that idea. One thing I really love that I appreciate about Chicago public transit, in a way that like I've seen this in other cities where I've been on public transit, but never to the same level. When someone can't afford their fare, the amount of times that I see a driver that's just like, come on, like you should be able to get where you need to go. I've never seen someone turned away. And that's awesome. These little dragons are so annoying, but they'd be a cute plushie. Asha, did you have like a stuffed animal as a kid that was like yours? What was its name? Was it a panda? Yeah. Awesome. It was Littlest Pet Shop Panda. Oh, it was a Littlest Pet Shop Panda named Pandy. Great name. Everyone drop your childhood stuffed animal's name in the chat. Do you support gay rights?
No. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm bi. So I support half of gay rights. That's a joke. I support gay rights. I think right now, as we see every authoritarian regime attacks queer people and visible minorities first, and we're seeing the exact same thing happen to the queer community, it's particularly trans people, which is why it is so important to have unflinching solidarity with the trans community. We cannot be throwing people under the bus. We can't be like, well, you know, we're just asking questions. The right has been doing everything it can to move the needle in terms of just basic human rights for trans people, and we do not, we can't tolerate it. But do you support gay wrongs, though? You gotta be more specific, man. I'm on the record. Also, for the record, I had a Webkins pug named Sammy. I have a crazy story about Webkins. What are you at, Asha?
Hold on.
Will?
No. Dan.
Holy cow.
Oh, nice. 10,000.
Holy cow.
All right, so we're at 1,100. If we can get to 2,000, I'll tell y'all my insane Webkins story that made me get in trouble in 3rd grade, and then no one was allowed to mention the word Webkins for the entirety of time I was at school. It's really stupid. Donate CapForIllinois.com/stream. I'm really excited to have more guests. We're going to be able to like push it earlier, hopefully get more viewership. I really appreciate everyone that's been with us since, you know, day one, our OGs. But we just really want to make sure that we can keep this as like a sustainable form of fundraising. So help us do that. CapperIllinois.com/stream. We got $900 to hear about how I got children detention for fucking Webkins. Still mad about it. I never owned a Webkins. Yet people thought that I executed their Webkins. Yeah, teaser. What's the best way to get to Broadview? It is purposely out of the way and a pain in the ass to get to. Like, that is, it is made that way. So driving is probably the best way to do it. I recommend carpooling. I carpool, but someone said, if you can't donate, share the stream link with at least one friend. Yes, you should do that. And if you can donate, you can also do that, because doesn't everyone like sharing progressive politics with their friends? How does one execute a Webkins? You guys know it. If you want to find out, you have to donate at CapperIllinois.com/stream. I don't know how clear I can be. By the way, we have some donors to shout out. Amelia, thank you so much for your $50 donation. Donald A, thank you so much. Why isn't it all caps? Oh, okay. Jason P, thank you so much for your donation. Mikhail B with a 69 donation. Nice. And Thomas T, thank you so much for your donation. We appreciate it, y'all. So the reason that the Broadview Processing Center is in Broadview is because it's not a sanctuary city. And it, like, that's, they want to be able to just do whatever they want. So, yeah, driving, unfortunately. I just want my axe. Let me go break open my geodes and get an axe. It's like 20 minutes from the loop with clear traffic. It's not that far. Okay, but from Rogers Park, it's longer. So everything's about me and how far things are from me. I thought that was pretty clear, but whatever. General Kenobi 641. Will you vote to release the Epstein files? Yeah, I think that's important. I would like to know if the president or anyone associated with him or anyone in our political system is a pedophile, personally. But once again, I guess I'm just too radical. God. Sometimes we feel cooked. But it's important to remember we're not cooked, because if you just think that everything is going to be bad forever, that's what the fascists want you to do. And the truth is, a lot of things are being broken and a lot of people are going to get hurt, but fascism is antithetical to the human condition. And eventually, pain and anger does outweigh fear. And ideally, we can build something better afterwards. So, will you run against Mayor Lewis in the Stardew elections? Yeah, Lewis sucks. Lewis sucks. Marnie deserves so much better. She should be with Lily, and that's my stance. Keep that revolutionary optimism. Hell yeah. If we don't, then it's a moot point. If you don't necessarily have to be all sunshine and rainbows all the time, but if you don't have hope for the future, then what are you fighting for? Is my point of view. Something better equals solar punk. Hell yes. I'm a huge solar punk fan. I've had people be like surprised that I'm kind of an optimist about the future, considering like what I've done with my life and work. But like, man, we'll just be miserable. And the best way to do that is to not be miserable, is to work with people to improve their material conditions, because fear always outweighs everything else. It's our most primal human emotion, and that's why we need to meet people's material needs. If your material needs aren't being met, if you're hungry, if you can't afford healthcare, if you can't afford housing, you're a lot more likely to be scared. And if you're a lot more likely to be scared, you're a lot more likely to engage with misinformation. And if our education system isn't improved, our media literacy isn't improved. If people don't have the time to think, they don't have the time to question. So yeah, meeting people's material needs, that's step one. And meeting everyone's material needs is the most important thing. No strings attached. Yeah, Asha's gonna try to do a poll. What are we doing the poll on? Asha's gonna ask who had webkins, and if y'all want to find out about webkins, you gotta donate at capitallinoid.com/stream. You guys know what to do. All right, we're seeing if the poll works.
You have to type 1 or 2.
I do?
No, they do.
Okay. All right, as people are asking how to do the poll, Asha?
Type 1 or 2.
Okay, I don't see a poll though. No. In the chat. Also, someone asked, what are your thoughts on UBI? I think that it's great. I think there are a lot of great ways to do it. We actually did a stream with 2 oh, I see it on the screen. Type 1 or 2 in the chat. I see it. I didn't see it on the screen because I'm dumb. But we did a whole stream with constituents Pete and Juan. Pete works in like guaranteed income and UBI for a living. That's what he does. And so you can go watch that back on YouTube. And then after today, you should be able to watch our streams on Twitch too, which is fun. 0%, doesn't matter how many people put 2 and 1, I just don't see it. Asha's trying to spread misinformation. Vote early, vote often.
Sorry.
Oh, Club Penguin. Yes, I was a huge Club Penguin girly. I got my parents to get me the yearly subscription for $60 a year. Which honestly was a deal with how much time I spent on there. I used to love dressing my penguin up like very mask and then become someone's boyfriend and then be like, haha, I'm a girl. And then just see what would happen. Probably should have realized I was bisexual earlier. That was actually like a really common thing for people in my generation to do. The amount of times I saw that was so funny. But I loved Club Penguin. I loved the secret agent things. Those were fun. The agent missions. capforillinois.com/stream. So you were catfishing with a K. Exactly. I did a whole thread. If you go on Twitter and look up my username and the right stuff, there was this invite only, I think it's called something else because it was such a fucking failure, so they tried to rebrand it, but it was this invite only conservative dating app, and I managed to snag an invite. It was so easy. All I had to do was make my Instagram private, and then like change my name slightly on there, and then just be like, oh my god, I'm so sick of all of these non-masculine men. Can you help me get on this website? And then one of the founding dudes gave me a code. Anyways, point is, I catfished my way into this conservative dating site and realized I was like the only woman on there. And it was so embarrassing. It was so cringe. They had like a thing where it was like, you can, actually we can look it up here. Hold on. One sec. Let's talk about the right stuff. Such a wild time. I'd have to sign into Twitter. No, it's not worth it. Is there any way that I can look at a Twitter thread without signing in? Okay, let's see. Unroll thread. Okay, here we go. Awesome. See, I think this is part of like what I'm talking about when I say that a lot of our leaders don't understand like the right-wing ethos, and what that's resulted in is an inability to understand like good faith arguments versus like just catering to the right. So anyways, so this was a thread I did. Let me zoom in. So I managed to get invited to the right stuff, and exactly what you expect, a cesspool of cringe conservative dudes who are desperate to get laid. This was my catfishing thing. I was Katie, which was what I was called when I was a kid. We have like a bit that Katie is Republican version of me. Here's me in an American flag shirt. That's a stupid costume we did as fucking what's his name? Scaramucci, slutty Scaramucci, and then just fucking went after him. And then he DM'd me. I was 18 and hit on me in my DMs. I'm not sure if I should say that, but yeah, that happened. It was like, bro, we're making fun of you. 23-year-old girl who still believes in traditional values, men who use their pronouns. If you're still using Twitter, this is before Elon Musk bought Twitter, this might not be the right app for you. So it was really easy to get the invite. And then what we found was him being like, I'm a communist, what can I say? He was really upset because people were like trying to get in, like covert agents. I don't know what that would be like. So many people would like show pictures with Tucker Carlson. And like my job was to monitor Tucker Carlson at this point. There were so many pictures with Tucker Carlson. Favorite conservative pundit is Tuck. Sorry, Freudian slip. Favorite liberal lie, China flu. My IQ is amazing. These are the prompts you get on the right stuff. I just want to really state that my profile is completely a joke. Like, this was me trying to catfish to get on this website. Most overrated athlete of all time, LeBron James. My favorite conservative pundit, Tucker Carlson. This is a huge fucking red flag. You even lied and said you were 5'1". Fuck y'all. Imagine matching with a guy who is like, I recently found out that a federal court ruled you can carry a firearm with a serial number filed off. Like, bro, I don't want to go on a date with you. Changed my mind about Abraham Lincoln was the worst president in U.S. history. Expound on that. My guy. Why? Yeah, but like, why? What happened? January 6th was a literal prompt from this right-wing site. January 6th was timeless. It's a blessing in disguise that recent events happened in the way it did. After all, it's in God's hands. People are awake more than ever now. Are you? Knows the best spot in town for voter contact.
Holy cow.
Favorite liberal lie, there are more than two genders. I take pride in not being vaccinated. Just so you know, it's like, you guys get the point. This is what all the profiles were like. And then all of the chats were like the worst version of Tinder or like Hinge, where it's just like very dadgum girl, are you CNN? Because I don't believe you're real. And then I was just like, nah, I work for Media Matters. And then he didn't reply. There was also a section where you can schedule dates and you just like put it out there and you hope that people show up. So this was like right after the 2022 midterms. And so like there was the red mirage because they thought there was going to be this big red wave. I didn't, but so they had like a bunch of people that were just like, I'm really sad, come meet me at this bar. Going to church with some guy. And then this one guy wanted to bring a woman on a boat and then take her into the wilderness. And you don't know anything about him. And then I got banned, like pretty much immediately after I made that thread. So anyways, I hope I don't get canceled for being a catfish on here. I'm sure someone will screenshot it and be like, look at her Scaramucci costume. But it was really funny in 2017, guys. You got to believe me. It's God, remember that? I guess you were like 5 then.
In 2017.
In 2017,
yeah,
you were 5 in 2017. So yeah, that's kind of like the work I used to do on this, like on the side. I did for those. I realized a lot of people don't know about my work. So I have done, like, I get described as the influencer candidate, and whatever, call me whatever you want, but I've only described myself as a researcher and journalist. And I think a lot of it is I realize that people connect on through, hold on, I'm gonna mute Stardew real quick. connect through video more than they do through like reading text now. And so I wanted to make sure that I was communicating what I was seeing during my work hours as effectively as possible. So that's why I started making video explainers. And like some of the before I used to do
Alex Jones.
Before I used to do supercuts, before I did like on camera stuff. And let me see if actually I can just pull this up. I'm doing it on my own because otherwise you'll have ads and that's stupid. So I used to do like these supercuts when I would watch Tucker Carlson or Fox News. Lore dump over here. So like this is a bit I used to have where like Tucker Carlson would go insane in a single thing. And so here's one of my favorite supercuts. Is it?
We need to have a conversation about how racist you are, which is very racist. Racist. Oh, you don't like crime?
Holy cow.
Free speech. It's white supremacy free speech. Shut up, racist.
He's so cool.
You know, we need to talk
He's
about
doing so
great
well.
Jean-Pierre.
So this is like what I would watch every night. And this is all from one night, by the way. Does it need to be louder? Okay.
Strong. Because I'm so strong and sassy. Did you hear that? You have no sense of humor. You've heard a lot about the great...
His laugh also haunts me. Like this was kind of what my brain was all the time.
You've heard a...
So anyways, yeah, I didn't just
is
watch
not a
Fox
crazy
News. I
person.
started to
wanna
realize that
bring the world
people get their
population down to
information
500
through
million.
video than just through text. And so I started making video explainers about like the most unhinged right-wing rabbit holes I would fall down. We did a comedy show for the campaign where I did a 30-minute set about Michael Flynn's website where he tries to get you to sell your unvaccinated blood and semen. So you can watch that there. Why did you watch it? I was watching Tucker Carlson every night for my work. I was working at Media Matters. So from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. every night, I and my team would watch Fox News, and we all had our shows that we watched more regularly than others. I was Tucker Carlson in the 5. And then we would be able to have like this encyclopedic knowledge. So I used to do explainers about this. Like talking about weird thirsting about RFK
Holy
Jr.
cow.
Social control, that is a real, this lizard at a podium. Oh, you can't see it because of me. This lizard at a podium was a real graphic from Tucker. And so, yeah, that was what I started my career doing. And if you want to give me condolences for subjecting myself to this bullshit constantly, catforillinois.com/stream. Yeah. So back to what we were talking about, the right stuff, talking about that dating app. I did other things like the Michael Flynn site. I'd done a deep dive, actually our first stream with a guest with Francesca Fiorentini. We talked about Conservapedia, the Cancel Culture Dictionary, which is written by a Fox News host. I read that entire thing and then reported on it. It's stupid and bad. Mike Huckabee's kids guides, those were really fun. He has these weird things that he says are free and you then have to give him $1 and then he charges you way more every month. So yeah, that's like what my work is in. So if you're wondering like why I care so much about the right and why I know a lot about it, it's because that is what I've been doing for my life as an adult. And part of that is because I grew up conservative and I wanted to dedicate my life to anti-extremism and the truth and trying to expose people to information in new ways. So, yeah, catforillinois.com/stream. Kat, you were my first political donation. That makes me so happy. Thank you so much for donating. And if anyone wants to join Marco, you can do so at catforillinois.com/stream. And I want to shout out some donos. Thank you, Asha. Shout out to Donald A again, Greg M, Daniel W, Daniel H. We love Daniels here. Alexander W, Jacob E with 69. Nice. Amy V with our average donation of 32. Twajon P, thank you so much for your donation. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If I didn't, please put it in the chat so I can do that. And Christopher M with a recurring $32 donation. $32 is our average donation. And so, yeah, thank you so much. Do you think a guy could catfish closeted Republican politicians on a gay dating site? You don't even need to catfish them. Look, we see where the grinder outages are during like CPAC and stuff. What are conservative thoughts you used to believe in? This is a great question. So as I've said before, I didn't grow up in like a Christian fundamentalist household. I grew up in more like a Reagan Republican household, which obviously there is crossover. But like a lot of it was, you know, the fiscal conservatism idea. One big thing that I realized was completely wrong is I'd always think like, why don't poor people just save more? And you know, you're a child. You're around the people you're around, and I just genuinely didn't understand. I thought like financial literacy was a big thing that my parents really cared about communicating to myself and my brother, and that was because we were in a position to be able to do that, to be able to save, to not have the constant threat of like you know, deciding which bills to pay, which is a huge thing that like a lot of families don't have, fewer have now and over again. Why the funeral music? Are we listening to funeral music? I'm just... Here we go. How about this? So I think that was like the biggest one of why don't poor people just save? I also thought, Kat, do you consider yourself a centrist, middle of the road? Depends on where we're talking about the center here. If we're talking about everyone can afford housing, groceries, and healthcare with money left over, and we have social programs for anyone who needs it, and equal rights for everyone, then if that's the center, I'll be a centrist all day, but we got to bring the center back there first. Otherwise, I guess we'd say progressive right now. I also had like a lot of misunderstandings about welfare and about social programs and like handouts. Very much the idea of like, we kind of fetishize misery in this country of like, you should have to struggle for blah, 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 blah. My father is an immigrant, and especially like post 9/11, we didn't really talk about the fact that like we were Arab, specifically Palestinian. I and a lot of other Palestinian kids were told, I don't know why specifically Lebanon, I think because there is a larger Christian population, but like a lot of us were told at one time or another, tell people you're Lebanese. But it was more like, you're American, very much about assimilation. And that was something that like, I was a big reader in history as a kid, and so diving into that and like Malda UN kind of exposed me more to other stuff. You were told things to keep you safe. Yeah, I mean, that is the logic for a lot of parents. And like, you know, I talk about, we traveled a lot as a kid. My parents were big on like exposing us to other cultures. But I didn't really have any dear friends in my life that like were living in poverty as a child. And that is a huge privilege to have as a kid. Like what parent, every parent wants to give the best life for their kid, and you're trying to protect them from that reality. But then I'm like 15 and I have friends who like can't afford to go to college even with a full ride. And it was like, wow, I guess Ronald Reagan wasn't right about everything. Like I always say that line, but it's true. Did you hear a lot of Rush Limbaugh when you were young? More Glenn Beck. I was a huge fan of her politics. I had no idea she was a Malda UN kid. This changes everything. To be fair, I hated being around debate kids. I just like winning things. So like, yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna go win something and then go back to my life. So a lot of Glenn Beck. Quick question, what groups have backed you? So we're kind of like in the middle of a lot of endorsement questionnaires. So basically how a lot of candidates get endorsements is it happens later on in the primary, or sometimes, why is my eyebrow being like that? Sometimes not even in the primary. Some groups wait till after. But we've been endorsed by Peace Action, which is the largest grassroots peace network in the world. Why am I blanking on everyone that has endorsed us? This is mortifying. I'll get back to you. Oh yeah, Rokana was our first, thank you, first endorsement. Which, you know, as a Palestinian person running for Congress, having progressive members that are advocating for an end to Netanyahu's regime. And I've been endorsed by 420 Dan 420 in the chat. If you've endorsed me, let me know in the chat. Have I been endorsed by y'all? And if you donate, then we can, yeah, it's pay to play with with our donations here. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. That's gonna be clipped out of context, and that's fine. I think I look really serious when I'm saying it too. No, but seriously, we want to shout out our donations, so please donate at CapForIllinois.com/stream. Whoever endorses me with the funniest username gets pinned on stream, Asha said. I endorse my Chihuahua, Petunia. I can't believe you do this to me. Petunia is my biggest competitor right now. I endorse Kat, but does Webkins endorse her? You guys won't find out till we hit our goal. How close are we? This has been a very chill, nice stream, which is nice. I've taken the last 2 days off, which is like the first days off I've had in a really long time, and so 400 to go. CatForIllinois.com/stream. Just remember, chat, an endorsement for Kat is an endorsement for Keeter. That is really true. Here. Look at her. Look at her in the corner. She's taking a nap. She's so good. You can still see her a little blurry in the back. Do we have donors to shout out? When you win, will Heater move to DC with you for the session? No, and there's actually a very purposeful reason for that. I think that a lot of representatives don't go back to their home district, and a lot of times it's not even on purpose. It's just a lot of it's a lot of work. I mean, this is taxing to be flying back and forth all the time, especially people who live in like California. I don't understand how reps do that. But I want to make sure, like, even with the best of intentions, a lot of people don't go back to their home districts as much as they should. And as dumb as it sounds, I know that even when it would like exhaust my body, I will come back to make sure I can give her a little kiss on the head whenever I can. And like, I really want to make sure that there is something that is forcing me to come back even when it's hard, because a lot of this campaign is trying to prove that politics can be different. And like, being a congressional representative, I mean, I've never been one. I'm trying to be one, but it's a hard job. Like, running for office is really hard. We need to be like realistic about that and honest about that, but we also need to, like, you're asking for thousands of people to vote for you. You need to be willing to actually do the job. It's like the idea of, I get that a lot of reps are scared to take action against the right because they're feared for their own physical safety. I understand that. That's very human. That's very normal. I fear for my own physical safety, like my colleagues and I have for years, because kind of what's happening is we volunteered to cover the far right and Nazis, and the rest of America didn't, and now they are being subjected to the same horror campaigns that we've been. But like, if you are a representative, you have power and platform and privilege. You need to be using that at every opportunity, and it doesn't matter if you're scared, you still need to do your fucking job. I know that I can, because I've already been doing the job, because I've already been fighting and winning against the right in a way that many of our representatives haven't, or they just don't understand because they're working from a playbook that's outdated. And I and my colleagues have been writing the new playbook and have been trying to get Democrats to follow it. And part of why I'm running is because I am sick of trying to wait for someone to listen. I am tired of telling our leaders this is happening and then being ignored. We told them about January 6th before it happened. We said it would be bad. We told them about COVID misinformation, where the DEI, CRT, trans panic would lead, and they didn't give a fuck. They actively didn't listen to us. And so that's part of why I'm running. I want more people in office who understand the modern right and understand how to fight it. And it's not by capitulation. It's not about some like weird middle ground where we throw some people under the bus. It's by standing strong in your values and doing everything you can to meet people's material needs, and not throwing your hands up and being like, well, we don't have the House or we don't have the Senate. Sorry, maybe you should start blaming yourself and not the voters. So, catforillinois.com/stream. Hey, Asha. Oh my god. Hi, Heater. Hi, Heater. What a good girl. Guys, this haircut is so much better. I have really thick hair and it's so heavy and exhausting on my neck. And I just kind of lost it on Tuesday and just made a like very split-second appointment, and I am so glad. Like, I was going through so much conditioner. It was crazy. Are you okay after getting slammed on the ground a bunch of times by ice? Define what you mean by okay. Thank you, Asha. Physically totally fine. I mean, like, we're all being traumatized in real time, not just people actively protesting ICE, but also the people being kidnapped by ICE who are going through so much worse. And also just like our communities, like having to be vigilant all the time, seeing, yeah, detainment absolutely is worse. Like, that's what I keep trying to stress. Like, people get mad because they see the little blonde woman getting thrown to the ground, and like, yeah, that sucks, that's excessive use of force, but the reason we're out there in the first place is because of what they're doing to the people they detain. They are, like, if they're willing to do that in front of press, what are they doing behind boarded up windows? Do people protest in Broadview during Saturdays? People protest on all days. Thank you, Jake K, for your donation. But a lot of the main protests are Friday morning, 7 to 9. Where was I going with this? Oh, trauma. But like, it's not just people that are, even people that are being detained, people that are being abused, people that are protesting. Everyone is being traumatized in real time, whether it's like my friend, her kids in daycare, and they got an email about what the daycare will do if ICE raids the daycare. Like, that just mental trauma. It's kind of like COVID, where we just kind of like memory hold it, but 1 million people died in a year and we just kind of don't acknowledge that and how traumatizing it was for all of us. And it's going to be the same thing with this, which is why it's really important. If we can get back into power, we cannot just pretend it was a bad dream. There have to be trials. There has to be accountability. We have to hold the men that have been terrorizing our communities accountable. But that trauma is just like, even when you see a white van and you freeze up and you're like, oh, is that ICE? Like, that having to be on all the time is traumatizing. So yeah, the litmus test should be, will you prosecute ICE agents? We need to unmask them. We need to bring them before our leaders, and we need to have trials. Would you vote to impeach Trump? Yeah, absolutely. Shit's fucked.
Holy cow.
Despite being 2 million, but your point stands. Thank you for the correction. It's, you lose count after a bit. There's this song that I think about all the time. It was written in 2017 by the band Ludlow, and it's talking about police brutality, and it doesn't sound like it was written in 2017. There's this line saying they're kidnapping our students, murdering our loved ones. And there's also this line that says, you know, I can't remember all their names and faces no matter how hard I try. And it feels like it's everything. You can't remember. There's so many faces and so many names, and it doesn't matter how hard we try. We can't remember them all, but we can at least fight for them all. Shit is fucked, but we can unfuck it if we stand together. Yeah. And like, that's a big part of, ooh, Rage Against the Machine has been singing about it for decades. Very true. And Tom Morello went to Loyola, which is in our district. But we just, I have this big platform that I built throughout my career, and it's really important we show by example and what we want to see by example. Has door knocking worked for canvassing, or other methods better? Door knocking is one of the most effective things you can do. And if you want to door knock for us, you can sign up at catforillinois.com/events, or join our volunteer Discord at discord.gg/catforillinois. Asha, how far are we from our goal?
We're at like 5:15.
Okay. All right, guys. We've got 12 minutes. We're aiming for 2K. We got to get some donations in here. We need to raise like $350. catforillinois.com/stream. You can donate $1. You can donate like $32. If you can donate more, that's awesome. If you can donate less, that's also awesome. We are supported by individual donors. We are not supported by big money. We're not supported by billionaires. We're not supported by corporate PACs. If anything I have said today has resonated with you, donate at catforillinois.com/stream. Yeah. And we have some donors to shout out. And donate so I can shout you out. Did you send them?
Yeah, they're in Discord.
It's just the 3?
Oh, there's more.
I just see 3.
Did you not do...
Oh, maybe I didn't. Jason S, thank you so much for your donation. Donald A, thank you for 2 donations. Jake K and Mark H, thank you so much. catforillinois.com/stream. I do keep spinning, especially about trains. I will talk about trains all day, every day. $5 for every stream I see. We love to hear it. catforillinois.com/stream. We got 10 minutes. I'm going to sound like an auctioneer here. catforillinois.com/stream. catforillinois.com/stream. I'm selling a cow or something. I remember going to the stockyards with my dad as a kid. That's like a thing that you do in Texas. Let's hear some holy cows. catforillinois.com/stream. Oh. Yeah. Kat, how would you feel about making high-speed rail coast to coast? Fuck yes, absolutely. We need more trains, more trains, more trains.
Holy cow.
There we go. catforillinois.com/stream. We are selling a cow. We're selling a holy cow, idolatry or something. catforillinois.com/stream. Infrastructure is super important. That's a really good point. What do you think about the internet censorship laws they're trying to pass under the guise of protecting kids by requiring people to submit ID? I think that's bad. Basically, what we're seeing here is a massive censorship campaign, and so many censorship campaigns and attacks on free speech are done under the guise of protecting kids. If we actually want to protect kids, we would be investing in education. We would be ensuring that people's material needs are being met. We would be paying for healthcare. We would not be censoring the internet. And we saw like a weird thing of websites forcing kids to like take pictures with their mouths open to be able to verify their ID. What the fuck are we doing here? We don't need more surveillance. We need less surveillance. We don't need less money towards SNAP and healthcare. We need more of it. It is really that simple. And I don't understand why we had to keep pretending like bombs are more important than actual food. Like, as Chad says in the chat, knowledge and information should be free for all. I completely agree. I think one of the best things humans have ever created is Wikipedia. Like, the way that we have an entire world of knowledge at our fingertips is unbelievably cool. Cat Abba Ghazale, more trains, official campaign slogan. It can be one of them. It can absolutely be one of them. That's a parent's responsibility. Increase the minimum wage so they can afford whatever the free market solution they want. I mean, we need to increase the minimum wage, but also it should be, our government is not a business. It should not be a business. And it is the government's responsibility to make sure that parents can support their kids and not to make sure that Elon Musk keeps getting fucking tax breaks. Look at all these pop-ups and hearing these holy cows. Thank you so much, y'all. We got 8 minutes to raise that 350. catforillinois.com/stream. Kat, what would you do when you're elected and senior Democrats ask to get in line and vote with them if you don't agree with them? If I don't agree with them, I'm not going to vote for it. Like, that's really what it is. Here's the thing about compromises. You have to be getting something in return. And I don't want to be in Congress forever. I am willing to absolutely lose my job if it means standing up for what I think is right. I want to get in, get some fascists out, do some good, and then leave this to the next generation. I have sworn I will not stay more than 5 terms. I am willing to risk my job because the job should not be about you, the candidate, or the congressperson. It should be about the people. And so it is time for progressives to have leverage. And if we can get more progressives elected, that means that we can have more leverage. And that means that we can ensure that we're fighting for a better future. Like, I've been asked, will you vote for Hakeem Jeffries as speaker? And I believe in people being able to change, but if it's what's happening right now, then absolutely not. What I want to see is leaders that are willing to fight for progressive change and against authoritarianism. And if you're not willing to do that, you don't get my vote. You know how you can get my vote? By doing just what I said. It's really that simple. Kat, do you think Congress people should be paid during a government shutdown? No. I think that, you know, you should be paid. If federal workers aren't being paid, Congress people shouldn't either. I also think that a government shutdown, like, it's one of these things. We have the most insane way of funding our government where we can just essentially just shut down whenever because people are doing political stunts. I think that we should maybe restructure our government. I also think that we should edit the Constitution. It should be a living, breathing document as it was intended. I think the way that we act like, well, it has to be this way forever is stupid. Have you donated to Wikipedia? Yeah, even when I was like a broke bartender. When they ask for money, I give it to them. I give them like $5 because Wikipedia is a great resource, and not putting knowledge behind a paywall or ads is dope as hell. There is a reason the right is attacking Wikipedia. And this is not a comment from my campaign, just from me. Someone asked and I could not react because I couldn't stop myself because I think Wikipedia is awesome. Donate catforillinois.com/stream. Can you send some donors in Discord, Asha?
So many.
Oh, wow. We got so many to shout out. If you want to shout out, donate catforillinois.com/stream. Let's do some rapid fire shout outs. Trey R, Colton S, Zachary P, Benjamin S, Amy H, Victor K, Christopher R, and Atifa G. Thank you so much for your donations. If you want to be like them, you can donate at catforillinois.com/stream. Ann M, Chad W, Robert W, Sergio G, Casey Q with $50. Thank you so much. Christopher B with 69. Nice. Adam B, Mason D with 69. And Donald A and DD, thank you so much for your donation. Get some nices in the chat, and thank you so much for supporting us. You can be like them at catforillinois.com/stream. We only have like 4 minutes. And what's the Discord again? Discord.gg/catforillinois. What's your secret for containing so many W takes within you? Within you. Built different. Yeah, built different. Also caring. You're right, Asha. Yeah, I mean, the real answer is like caring. When you actually care about folks, you want to advocate for a better life. Bam, more.
You owe the webkin story.
Oh, I owe the webkin story now?
Officially.
Okay.
Did the donors first.
Oh, we hit our goal. So I will tell you all the webkin story after we read these donations. Donovan F with a recurring donation. Thank you so much. Matthew R, Joel H, and Thomas T. Thank you so much. And Samuel S with $350. Thank you so much. That goes a long way. You have guaranteed webkin story, which everyone cares very much about. That was just like a one-off thing. I didn't think anyone actually wanted to hear it. Do you actually want to hear it?
Of course I want to hear it.
Okay, so I never had webkins. I was a Club Penguin girly. And this girl who eventually became one of my close friends in elementary school, but hated me and I didn't like her. When she was like really young, she would just like make shit up. And she started telling this story that she was on webkins and was like, the doctor's like a duck, right? The doctor, do you not have webkins?
I have one.
Okay.
I'm kind of a fake webkin.
Okay, she's a fake webkin stan. So she was like at the duck doctor or something. So basically, for those who don't know, webkins is like a little stuffed animal, and then it has a code that you can put online and play it like Neopets. Yeah, Dr. Quack. And so she was visiting Dr. Quack, and then like a sniper red dot went on her webkin's forehead, and then she saw the webkins get murdered. Obviously, that did not happen. But then she said, like, she created like a hysteria. Like, it was like when like mass hysteria in like the Middle Ages, where everyone that had a webkins was like, I saw my webkins get shot too, and like people were like crying about it. And then she spread this rumor that the reason I was the only girl without a webkins is because I was the one murdering everyone's webkins. And what? I'm so mad. I'm actually not mad. It was really funny in hindsight. And so like I, being like the annoying kid, would like try to poke holes in her story and then be like, so, but you said this, and like have notes like I was a little journalist in a movie. And then she complained to the teachers that I was doing this, that I was trying to call her out on her lies. And so then my school just made a rule that no one was allowed to talk about webkins, and if you did, you wouldn't be able to go to recess. I was framed. You were framed. I was framed for a crime that didn't even happen. Is it 1984 here? Is it 1984? It's so Orwellian out here. What the fuck are we doing? I won't murder your webkins. Christy Nomewell.
It sounds different on this. I love it. Having like an
Are you worried this will be brought up by your campaign opponents? I'm terrified. That's why I didn't want y'all to donate, which you can do at catforillinois.com/stream. But yeah, that's my stupid webkin story. Classic no due process. Yeah, it's really fucked up. Do we have any Oh, we have more? No, we don't. Do we have more?
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get the top screen. Not going away.
Asha can't get away. Cat, the webkins kill her off the screen.
I got it. Okay. I'm just throwing it away. Oh my god, if it doesn't go away, I'm gonna lose my...
I like it. This music's also slaps.
Dude, it's literally not going away.
I love the me channel.
Oh wait, because I'm on the wrong one. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm stupid.
So teachers decided to censor instead of prosecute. Yeah, it's almost like it's an allegory for today. Or something. I actually had a lot of that as a kid where like someone did something fucked up. And that's one thing that I always thought always really annoyed me as little girls, like boys getting mad because you'd beat them in something. And then they'd be like, what if you just like didn't, like, what if you just let it go? What if you just like didn't win and you tied? And that would always drive me nuts. Sherwin S with $150. Thank you so much. That goes a long way on a campaign like ours. The candidate picture on the stream donation page is a picture of Heater the cat. I enthusiastically endorse this candidate. You should, because Heater is actually the shadow candidate. She operates me like we're in Ratatouille. That's how it works. Release the Webkins files.
Wait, I'm putting that. That's I don't care. I'm gonna limit myself to only a couple of pins.
I do love with these pop-ups being able to see like the really small dollar donations, because like I can't stress enough, we do love when you donate like $5. We also love when you donate $500, but like it's cool to see people donating like $3 there, $5 there, 32 here. It's just really cool, and we're really appreciative. Yeah, between this and the Scaramucci costume, guys, I'm canceled. Oh, what's something nice I did for myself on my days off? I went to King Spa and I slept in the oxygen room for a long time. It was awesome. Today I played guitar for like 3 hours, to the point I haven't been able to play enough, and so like my calluses are kind of going away, so my fingers hurt, but in a good way. I got Indian food with Ben, and we watched the entire series of the English teacher, although we caught up on it. And I snuggled with Heater a lot, so that's what I've been doing. Yeah. And King Spa, for those who don't know, is this awesome Korean spa in the district. And you should go, and you play guitar, name 3 albums. And it's like with a Groupon, it's $45, and you can just like hang out in warm pools and stuff like that and sleep on the floor. It's awesome. Need a guitar stream. We're gonna have a really high goal for that, because it is it is mortifying for me. I am terrified of singing in front of people, but we can have a really high goal for that. 100K. I think like 10K probably, but it had in one stream with some of our new guests. We can't discuss, but we have been cold DMing some people that I really admire that have like followed me, and I didn't realize it. And I didn't do it. Asha did it because I was too shy to do it. And the way that we have squealed about some of these people being like, oh my god, fuck yes.
I can't tell you. I was writing emails.
We're so excited.
I was writing emails to this person, and I was like, my hands were shaking so bad I couldn't type the email. Like, it was ridiculous.
It's Ken Jennings. Yeah, get Ken Jennings on here though. Get Ken Jennings to email Asha.
I'll respond and I'll be polite. That's the fuck up.
We haven't
I'll
called.
Be like, don't email me, thank you.
But yeah, so yeah, 10K. We'll do a guitar stream, but we have other fun things planned too. Let me have some donors to shout out, and then we can do that. How frequently is Asha allowed to leave the house? She sleeps in the closet.
I get fed and watered.
Yeah, she gets fed and watered.
It's just the one.
Okay. Damien F, thank you so much for your donation. Guitar stream, but it's just you adjusting the neck and tuning your guitar for an hour. Yeah.
Real, like, indie man experience.
So what's our total for today?
Our total for today
god, amazing. Guys, we reached $2,887 on today's stream. Thank you so much. Holy cow, indeed. This is once again like so cool to see in real time. We are genuinely changing how the game is done, and that's thanks to y'all. Thank you so much, and we'll be back on Sunday.
Yes. We'll go.
Sunday with Meredith Shiner. Bye, guys. Un momento.